We've got the Dublin Racing Festival in 2 weeks' time. The horses are ready to start showing what they can do out on the gallops. Let's go live and join Ivan Yates.
Some good juveniles between now and the end of the season, but certainly the best one we've seen so far is Espoir D'Allen.
Yes.
And I think what's notable about him is he's had...
Just say we're now being joined on ATR Live, who are screening this. You're welcome. It's Ivan Yates and Johnny Ward here. And as you can see, Espoir D'Allen, written by Barry Geraghty, with Spades Are Trumps, a recent maiden hurdle winner at Punchestown. They're going to work 7 furlongs. These are both Gavin Cromwell's horses, and they're going to work their way round to the finishing post. They're about directly opposite the stands here. Johnny, you know Gavin Cromwell well. He's one of the really young emerging trainers. Great victory with Jer's Girl, and now Raz de Marie winning the Welsh National. You've some horses with him. How good is he?
Yeah, I think he's excellent. I think he's one of the things that we like to see in Ireland. He's an up-and-coming trainer, and he's from, you know, a fairly ordinary background. He was good friends of Gordon Elliott for many years, and I think he would freely admit he's certainly used Gordon as an influence for his method of training, and you know, he's a real up-and-coming trainer. And this horse here in second, number 1, Espoir D'Allen, in a way this gallop actually would remind you of the races in which he's run, because all 4 races have not really been run at a proper gallop, and every time we've come back in, Gavin has said, I'd like to see him in a truly run race, but we'll get that the next day, and he hasn't.
But at Fairyhouse in the Grade 3, he took it up about 3 out and really won easy.
Yeah, that was a very nice bit of riding by Barry Geraghty, because the horse he beat, Machuca, is probably a very pacey type of a horse, and he rode him for stamina in a crawl. The last day at Leopardstown, again, they didn't go particularly quick, and Farclas, who finished second to him, we'll actually see him later on. But you know, these gallops are a nice idea, Ivan, because I think it's nice for the trainers to get the horses away as well. It's an opportunity for them to get the horses away from home. The horses like that, and this horse, Spades Are Trumps, he's running, I think, in Navan on Saturday. He's a Yates horse for JP McManus, who won a maiden hurdle, a very good,
which is working out well.
Absolutely.
It looked like when they finished in a flash of heads that it was a crap race, but actually it was a decent.
And he was quite a big price. I think there's more to come from him. What I would expect here is that Espoir D'Allen will probably range up alongside when they come into the straight, and without getting too much of a prompt from Barry Geraghty, will finish his race nicely. But I suppose he's definitely one of the star attractions at Leopardstown, and I think it's going to be a fascinating you know, juvenile hurdle, especially with the likes of Farclas in it as well, and it's not going to be a cakewalk for him.
Yeah, you can see on the near side there, Barry Geraghty just stretching the legs a little bit there of Espoir D'Allen. He seems to be in rude good health. Spades Are Trumps is getting the hurry up.
I think he just said to Breen Kane, go a little bit faster there. This fella wants to go a bit quicker.
Yeah. I wouldn't be having too much on Spades Are Trumps on the run.
I think you can see from Spades Are Trumps, he'll probably want a bit of a trip as well, but he's a nice horse. But Espoir D'Allen has a real cruising speed, and it'd be just nice at Leopardstown if they did actually go a Grade 1 gallop for this horse, because we'd know a bit more about him. Because I think you were saying to me before we came on air, you know, there might be an element of he beat Farclas kind of handily by a length and a half or so, but the race was run at a muddling pace. And
Farclas was staying on. And we're going to we'll see Farclas later on. He's going to be working with Duca de Thaix after we see Samcro. We will have 9 horses of Gordon's. They'll be working last, 5 lengths apart.
You know, if you look at My Tender Yours at Cheltenham, an old horse in the McManus colours, who's obviously probably getting on a bit, and so is Jezki, and patently didn't stay in what was the World Hurdle at Cheltenham last year, but he's had some great runs around Leopardstown. We'll all remember his epic battles against Hurricane Fly, and I imagine when Jessica comes into the straight here, he'll be expecting a massive roar from the crowd, evoking memories of the
Hurricane Fly.
And he'll be hoping that this little terrier in his inside doesn't go.
So you can see that the 2 horses to keep an eye on are on the inside track. Supasundae out in front. They will work the whole way around the circuit here, and then the white cap in second, Jezki, looking to recover some of his sparkle of yesteryear.
And what's interesting about these gallops as well, Ivan, is that, you know, you have the well-established horses, namely Jezki and Supasundae, but certainly Exit Pole is unraced, and Whisperinthebreeze has had 1 run, and this is the type of access that I think punters really enjoy, because likely one of the two horses that is, you know, the blank canvas will actually show up quite well here beside two very, very good Grade 1 horses, and you'll be thinking, wow, there's a horse to look out for the future, because Supasundae obviously wants 3 miles. This is 7 furlong gallop on ground, probably a little bit softer than ideal for him, and Jezki is getting on a bit. So
Exapole is unraced. Is he a bumper horse or what?
Yeah, I believe so. And Whisperinthebreeze just had the one run. I actually looked up Exapole earlier, and I couldn't actually find anything about him, but he is unraced. And you know, Jessie has such a nice team of horses, and the year she had last year, there was all that chat, of course, about how quiet she'd been in December, but she's put that to right in January, and it's going to be interesting to see how they match up here, the four of them, come the wire.
Yeah, impact factor, of course, a good winner for her at Punchestown on Saturday. So would you call that a 3/4 speed?
I don't even think it's that.
It's more of a canter.
They'll probably quicken a little bit in the straight.
Yeah, have a blowout.
Have a blowout and have a day out as well. And certainly it's going to be an informative gallop for Jessie, because it's next to impossible that these horses would ever work together at home.
Should just say, while there's been, you know, so much rain over the last 48 hours, that Plumpton was a casualty unexpectedly yesterday. The ground here looks fairly good, and it dries very quickly and drains very well at Leopardstown.
I'm from Galway originally, and Dublin and Galway have completely different climates. It might as well be different countries. You get far less rain up here, but even by Dublin standards, Leopardstown is an incredibly dry track. I'm not sure what it is about.
It's quick draining. So I think there's a reasonable expectation, unless it's deluge, the ground will be no worse than Ely. But I noticed some of the trainers were saying what they like about the Dublin Racing Festival is that as we move later into the year, ground is really drying out in the later part of the spring. This is effectively the first spring festival, but for soft ground horses, they definitely have a chance here.
Yeah, because even at Christmas at Leopardstown, it was relatively lively, and obviously then later on the year it reverts to its flat status. But this will be beautiful, beautiful ground for jumps horses.
Okay, they're effectively starting to turn into the straight now. You see Jezki in behind in the white cap. This is the grey horse's Whisperinthebreeze, and this unraced Exapole is going to make mincemeat hard held of Grade 1 horses. Or is he?
Well, I certainly think his odds when he runs are already contracting, because this
certainly one for the notebook.
Well.
Yeah,
you can see Supasundae has been a little bit outpaced.
Kate Harrington is having the arms pulled out of her there on Exapole, and then a nice turn of foot here on the outside.
Looks very full of himself there.
Yeah,
on the
that's Jezki in the white cap.
Yeah,
Supasundae is somewhat one pace there, galloping on as he does interminably. Strong horse, and then. So maybe Exapole is the one to take out of that
to be able to lie up there and in the hands of the rider, who of course is Kate Harrington, is definitely very encouraging. I think Jessie will be delighted with that, and obviously she'll be quite happy that the two established horses got a day out as well.
Okay, they're off there now. You can see Road to Respect in the yellow cap, Snow Falcon. They're going to canter the whole way round. Right, let's talk about the flow gas, and let's talk about Road to Respect and Snow Falcon.
Yeah, I mean, what you said there about the Flogas Novice Chase on the Sunday, if they 2/3 of them were to show up, this would be possibly the race of the festival. If you had Mona Lee taking on Snow Falcon, and a fascinating runner, Sutton Place, who was actually a non-runner in the race, that Snow Falcon won here, rendering it something of a match between him and Bacardi's, who obviously fell. But Snow Falcon was really impressive that day. Obviously a very, very smart hurdler. He's 7 years of age. Seems like he's been around for a long time. But Sean Flanagan was on a real high.
Yeah, I just got confirmation in my ear that the two jockeys here are Jonathan Moore and Sean Flanagan, and they will actually dismount and then get up on Apache Stronghold and a Genie in a Bottle in the next Noel Meade workout. Carry on.
Yeah, and so obviously, as I was saying, Sean had won on Road to Respect, and his confidence was very high when he rode Snow Falcon to victory, but that was a very, very hot race. Mona Lee, you mentioned, it's going to be a tough one for Henry de Bromhead, because he'll be conscious of how difficult this test will be. Anyone who saw his fall here at Christmas will reflect on the fact that not only was it a heavy fall, but he got 2 kicks while he was grounded as well. And
but it was out of character.
It was completely out of character, but he went into the fence all off his stride, and I'd be surprised if henceforth Henry isn't hoping that the horse could make the run.
The winner of that race, Shattered Love, is also
very good mare.
entered.
Shattered Love is a very good mare. Of course, it's questionable if Monolith would even have won, because she's a really strong Yates mare who's growing into herself and certainly improving. And the way she finished off a race in which Bon Papa travelled honestly but didn't find anything was very, very eye-catching. And I think she's going to be a smashing mare in time. So we don't know would Monolith have won. Monolith has the option of going to Naas as well, so we'll see what happens with regard to him.
Okay, and Snow Falcon is in the Flogas. So let's just look at Road to Respect. Surely this is the most improved chaser in the country. I mean, like, you know, you've so many of Willie's, there's question marks about York Hill and so on. But Road to Respect, you know, he just keeps churning it out. He just keeps winning. And, you know, he won it the hard way here at Leopardstown at Christmas.
Yeah, and in fact he's quite aptly named, because he has been on a Road to Respect, and he's probably only getting there now. He's closely related to Road to Riches. He's by Gamut, who wouldn't be the most fashionable sire in the world, but this horse loves lovely, nice ground, as he showed last year when winning at Cheltenham, and then as he showed subsequently. And the ground was probably right up his street at Leopardstown at Christmas. Now, obviously, we have to reflect on the flops of Jack Adam, Sizing John, and I would argue York Hill as well in the race. They all flopped. So it was kind of left to him to beat the two other Jigginstown runners, Back to the Flow and Outlander. But Outlander's a reliable enough yardstick, as he showed when edging Road to Respect at Down Royal. And this horse is
coming into the straight here now. You can see
absolutely
both upsides full of running.
Yeah, they're not going to overexert themselves today, but Road to Respect, I really like the way he goes about things. I think the hood,
he's rated 167,
yeah,
like, which is top rated in this race.
It mightn't be good enough to win a Gold Cup later on. And I just the worry I would have about him at Christmas is whether, or rather in February, is if the ground will be quite quick enough for him. And do not rule out Jack Adam running a much bigger race, but you can see him there.
Was there any word yesterday to explain his worst ever run in Leopardstown?
Again, it was, well, we think it might be such a thing, and we're hoping. You can just see the head on Road to Respect.
Yeah.
He's such he just wants to get on with it.
They're going to work 5 lengths apart, and we've the superstar here. In the white cap is Samcro.
You're calling him a superstar already?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The issue, intriguingly, is he's also entered for the BHB Champion Hurdle here. So up front you have, in the white cap, is Shane McCann. They call him the judge in Gordon Elliott. Is riding Samcro in the white cap, and the red cap is the great bumper, triple bumper winner, hat-trick of bumpers, Rapid Escape.
The problem with these two horses running together is they're, without shadow of a doubt, two of the most talented horses that both Jigginstown and Gordon Elliott have ever had, in my view. I think Samcro is going to be the best horse they've had, and I think Rapid Escape is going to be an absolute star in his own right. Probably going to be minded this season. And for those who decried that he won't be going to the Cotswolds, come to Leopardstown and see this horse run in the Grade 2.
The last race on day 1 of the festival is, in fact, a winner's bumper, so Rapid Escape may go for that. We'll ask Davy Condon about that. Samcro's entered for 3 races. The likelihood is he'll run in the Nathaniel Lacey, the 2-mile 5-6 race, the first race of the entire festival, but he is intriguingly entered for the champion. The second group there,
here we have
the orange cap.
Yeah,
orange cap is the horse who ran on well in the juvenile, re-entered again for the spring juvenile on the Sunday, and Duca de Thaix. Tell me about Duca. Davy Russell is on Duca de Thaix, and Davy Condon, who will be joining us later, is on the orange cap of Farclas.
Farclas is a very interesting horse, because I think just looking at him there, he's like a horse who really has grown in confidence and swagger since he ran behind Espoir D'Allen off a slow pace the last day. This horse is again certain to improve for a nice gallop. Connections really like him. I think he's far better chance of Grade 1 glory this season than Machuca, who won of course nicely at the weekend, and Duca de Thaix as well was quite impressive at Limerick and looks a lovely prospect.
Okay, and the next group we have there, the blue cap is Warlike Intent, who is due to run against Impact Factor of Jesse's, and Warlike Intent. He won a bumper in Clonmel.
That's right, he beat Allardyce by about 15 lengths. Allardyce, a bit of a bridesmaid in bumpers, but it was an impressive performance, and I think he would have run a good race on Sunday had he been withdrawn, but has a nice future. The horse in on the inside is Destin Donk. That's a JP
Barry Garrity is up on that.
Yeah, he's a horse who came from France, and he ran okay at Limerick. I'd say his best days are ahead of him. 2 nice horses here, and just at the forefront of your screen, I believe that's Samcro on the near side. doing what he normally does, ranging.
Talk us through this, yeah.
Ranging upside on the bridle, and this is interesting because Samcro hasn't really come off the bridle over hurdle, certainly, and Rapid Escape was probably thinking, ooh, what's going on here? I don't remember this happened before. Fella going a little bit quicker than me, but any doubts about him? Obviously he scoped a little bit badly not that long ago.
Well, he's in rude health there.
He looks happy, so
yeah. And the last group then are Dortmund, Park, Flawless Escape and Diamond Kushwa.
Diamond Kushwa is wearing the baby blue cap, I was told.
Yeah.
And now I know what baby blue is.
Lisa O'Neill is on Flawless Escape. They're in the purple cap in the centre, and Dortmund Park on the inside. This festival will decide the pecking order of Irish novice hurdlers. Would you make any comment about those novice hurdlers?
Yeah, well, I suppose Dortmund Park, he arrived with a big reputation. He was rather disappointing, actually, first time out at Navan, but put that to right when winning nicely on New Year's Day, I think, and he's a horse that's cost a lot of money.
The black cap is Diamond Kushwa, yeah.
Yeah, Diamond Kushwa is a horse that's absolutely thrived for Gordon. I imagine they'll be looking down the handicap route for him, but he's
Mark Enright is on him.
Yeah, and Flawless Escape is a nice horse that Roger Loughran rides, because the owner, Tim O'Driscoll, is a friend of Roger's from the Desi Hughes days, and he won beating Jetes here at Leopardstown at Christmas. Lovely horse as well, but I think Dortmund Park is one to keep an eye on. I think he has a nice future.